Assalamu alaikum students and welcome to SM Public Academy Campus 5 online lectures. I hope you all are doing good and I hope you all are doing great at home and you all are taking care of all the necessary SOPs and you are staying home and staying safe as I always ask you. So let's begin the lecture. Okay, I welcome all the graded students to English literature class. As I told you yesterday that from now onwards we will be having 1 week of literature and 1 week of language. So this is our literature week. Now before I begin the class, let me remind you people that every time you come for the class on these daily basis from yesterday onwards actually, and because we did not do any classwork yesterday, so from today onwards I want you people to have three things with you. If it's a literature class, have your literature book with you, have the literature copy with you, and have your pencil pouches or whatever the books you have with you, so that you don't have to get up every time and you don't have to leave the class every time. And second thing, make sure you're sitting at a comfortable position so that you can easily do the classwork also at the same time. Because if you're lying down on a couch or you're lying down on your bed on the sofa or anywhere, then definitely it gets difficult to do the work. So from today we will be doing the classwork also. So in the last 20 minutes we will be doing the classwork. So I want you people to please have everything with you so that you don't have to get up and like leave the lecture again and again. Second thing, I won't be allowing anybody after the initial 10 minutes to enter the classroom. So please avoid entering the classroom later than 10 minutes. Be sure that you are here at a particular time at 8:30, whatever the time is. And the last but not the least, please cooperate. If I turn on the mics for you people, then don't sing songs, don't tell me things that are irrelevant because we have a very short time. And because we are using the microphones here, so if we all try to talk together, then we cannot hear anybody. So whosoever I'm asking, kindly unmute your mic and then answer me, and quickly just uh, mute your mic again. Okay, is that clear? Okay, let's begin the class. Okay, so we are doing the play Macbeth, and yesterday we discussed it so far that King Duncan is finally murdered, and Lady Macbeth actually wants Macbeth to murder King Duncan, and although he refuses first, he tells him that he's my relative and everything, but she says, no, you have to do this criminal deed, and otherwise I will never respect you. And finally, Macbeth goes, and while he's going towards, first initially, actually, Lady Macbeth goes to take the daggers and to uh, drug the guards. And when she goes there, she finally realizes that the king looks like her dead father, and so she couldn't actually kill the king by herself. And she comes back, and what happens then, she asks Macbeth to go, and while Macbeth is going, he sees an illusion that there's a knife pointing towards him, and when he pulls his hand forward to grab the knife, he couldn't grab the knife. It was just an illusion. And then when he goes and he has finally killed the king, he hears that the guards are shouting, but actually they were just sleeping and they were talking in there. Neither, please close the mic and close the camera. And what happened, actually, they were shouting out of nowhere. Okay, they were just shouting like that. And then finally what happened that they after Macbeth has come back, he is just thinking that he's very frightened and he's very nervous, and he's just, as he tries to sleep, there's a voice coming into his ears, it's just telling him that, Macbeth shall sleep no more because he has disturbed an innocent sleep. Okay, he has killed an innocent sleep and he should sleep no more. And then finally, he just looks at his hand and he believes that all the waters in the seas of the world will be less to clean that deed, to clean that blood. And even if he's gonna put his hands in the seas that have like trillions of liters of water, all that water will turn red. Okay, and his hands will not get washed. But Lady Macbeth returns back after putting the daggers back with the guards. She tells Macbeth that a little water will wash away the deed, and she tells him that, wash your hands and just go to sleep, because if somebody sees us awake at this time of the night, then definitely going to doubt us. They might doubt us that why we are awake at this time, so better go to sleep. And so finally, they both decide that, okay, fine, we have done the deed and let's just relax. Okay, so we're going to begin reading on page number 24. Okay, so I want you people to open up page number 24. Okay, the new king of Scotland. So finally, King Duncan is dead. Early the next morning, there was a loud knocking at the castle gates. So there was a loud knocking at the castle gates. That is, definitely something was wrong. So people were actually knocking at there. Two of Duncan's noblemen, Macbeth and Lennox, had come to offer their services to Duncan. Macbeth went to welcome them. So basically, besides Macbeth and Banquo, definitely Duncan was a king, so he had many different noblemen serving for him. So he had two another noblemen, Macduff and Lennox. Okay, these both are noblemen. We have already written their names when we were doing the characters. So these two noblemen, they came to the, Macbeth's castle to offer their services, and Macbeth went and he would just welcome them warmly. They took him, they told him that where they had been staying that night, the weather had been very wild and stormy. So basically, they told him that, the weather was not pleasant the whole night where they were staying. The wind was so strong, it had blown the chimneys down. So basically, there was a very strong gust of wind. There was a very strong wind, and, like things were broken down and everything. People heard strange noises in the air, like the sounds of people crying. Okay. Okay. Sounds of people crying and the terrible screams of people dying. Some said they had felt the earth shaking. So basically, it was maybe an earthquake or something in that era, which the people didn't actually realize, or maybe it was something was wrong actually. And they told that, the weather, the everything around was not good. It was unpleasant. Everything seemed very disgusting and very depressing, and it was not a good atmosphere around them where they stayed the night before. Okay, while they were speaking, the terrible murder was discovered. So basically, when they all three were, having the conversation and they were talking and they were having the discussions about what has happened and what has not happened, the terrible murder was discovered. That means definitely somebody would have went into the room of King Duncan and they would have discovered him dead over there. Soon everyone, oh my God, you people entered the class in the middle. Soon everyone in the castle knew the dreadful news. So basically, dreadful, awful, bad, terrible, okay? Soon everybody knew about the dreadful news. That is, everybody knew now that, okay, something is wrong, something is happening, and, something is bad has gone wrong. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth both pretended to be very shocked. When Macbeth was told of the murder, he went straight to the king's room. He found the king's two servants there. Their hands and faces were covered with blood and their daggers, unwiped, while were lying where they had been sleeping. He could not understand what had happened and stared at each other in confusion. Macbeth killed them immediately. Okay, so look now what Macbeth does here is that, he just takes the opportunity, and what he does that when he walks in there, he and Lady Macbeth, first of all, they pretend that we don't know nothing, and we are equally shocked like everybody else in the castle. And then when Macbeth moves into the room of King Duncan and sees the dead body there, and he sees that both the servants, both the guards are actually, just standing by there, and they have blood on their daggers and their hands are covered with blood. Now, if you remember how their clothes and their daggers, they all got blooded because Lady Macbeth did that. Remember, she told Macbeth, go back and put some blood on their clothes as well and put the daggers with them so that everybody believes that they are the murderers. And this is actually what Macbeth is now, he's taking advantage of his plan, that the cards are all, unaware. They don't know why, they don't have any idea about this thing. They're so blank that they don't understand why the blood is here, from where did the blood come, and why are our clothes having the blood, and why are our daggers covered in blood. But Macbeth does not want to give them any opportunity to think or any opportunity to understand what is happening. And so what he does, he just immediately kills them. The easiest way to get rid of some proof is to kill the person, because then if the person is no more, if maybe they had seen something, or if maybe they had woken up in their sleep, or if they had any idea that Macbeth and Lady Macbeth were there in the night, around the king's room. So definitely they would speak up. And maybe they would have discovered, so the easiest way was to get rid of them and just to kill them. And this is exactly what Macbeth does. He just immediately kills them, without listening to any of their whatever they have to say, or whatever they have to, like tell about the crime, or whatever, what was their side of the view. He just don't hear anything, and he just kills them immediately. Okay. When he returned, he said he was sorry he had killed the servants, but that his feelings of love for the king had been too strong for him. He could not stop himself from killing the king's murderers when he saw them standing there with Duncan's blood on their clothes and on their daggers. Of course, Macbeth hoped to hide his own guilt by doing this. So basically, what is happening now, that Macbeth is trying to prove himself right. He's trying to cover his guilt. He's trying to overcome that depressive and that frightening feeling which he has had since he has murdered the king. And how he's wiping up that feeling, how he's overcoming that feeling, that he is actually, telling the people, oh, I killed the servants because I had a lot of love for the king. He was my relative, I owed his safety responsibility, and because he was killed, and the servants daggers were covered with blood, so definitely they were the first suspicions. And I could not, just let go a person who was under suspicion, so I just killed them for this reason. But basically, all this is just a fake story, because we all know that he was actually trying to hide his crime by doing such things. Okay. Lady Macbeth pretended to be so shocked when she heard the news that she became ill and had to be helped from the room. So basically, Lady Macbeth is again pretending, like she is again becoming a drama queen here, and she is just going like, "Oh, I'm so sad, I'm so nervous, I'm so depressed, I'm so distressed that, I cannot even, like get up from the room, and oh my god, like, you might have seen it in the dramas or anything, that when somebody hears the news, it just fell down and they get unconscious, and they have to be, like pulled and helped, and given water, that just relax and all that. So she's actually just doing a drama here. She's only pretending to be that shocked and that upset. Duncan's son Malcolm and Donalbian were staying at Macbeth's castle. They decided to run away. So basically, Macbeth had two sons, Malcolm and Donalbain. And Malcolm is the son whom Duncan had already declared to be the next king. Okay, if you remember, when he was invited to Macbeth's castle and when he was having the feast, he declared it that the king after me will be Malcolm. So Malcolm and Renalbian were also there at Macbeth's castle, and what they decided to run away. Run away means not run away physically, but they decided to escape. They decided to leave the castle immediately. Okay, why? Let's see. What is Macbeth's castle? Okay, and Bilad, you want to know what is Macbeth's castle? Macbeth has his own castle. Don't you remember? I told you in the beginning of the story that Macbeth belonged to the royal family as well. He had the royal blood in his veins because he was the relative of King Duncan. So definitely in those days he was also belonging to the royal family. So he had his own separate castle, and actually King Duncan came to visit his castle. It's not much that only the king is going to have a castle. But yeah, definitely the king's castle might be much bigger or more huge than Macbeth's castle, but Macbeth also had his own castle, okay, because he was also belonging to the royal family. So that's why he was having his own castle where he had invited, or not actually he had invited, but Duncan had actually told him that I'm going to come and stay at your castle and just have some leisure time with the relatives and with the friends of mine. Okay, so Malcolm and Donalbian, both the sons of Duncan, they decide to run away. They did not think that their lives would be safe if they remained in Scotland. They thought that the person who had killed Duncan in order to be king would surely try to kill his sons too, because they ought to be king after him. So basically, the sons are over smart. They're being, clever at this, and they believe that, anybody who has killed the king, because definitely a murder is never done without a reason. There is always a reason behind a murder. A murder is a very big crime. In fact, it is the biggest crime in the world. So definitely they were old enough to understand that if somebody has killed the king, then definitely there must be a purpose. And what is going to be the purpose? Definitely to get the throne, because nobody will kill the king out of any jealousy or hatred, because the king was a good man. He was a kind and generous man. He had no enemies like that. And if even if he had any enemies, they would not definitely sneak in into Macbeth's castle. So they were sure that anybody who has done this criminal deed would also try to kill us, because we are the heirs to the throne. That is, we are the people who are going to get the throne after him. We are the next king. So they decided to leave Scotland finally, because Scotland wasn't safe enough for them anymore. One of them went to England and other to Ireland. So both of them escaped to different countries, okay? Because definitely escaping to the same countries, again, dangerous. If there's something wrong like this, then people usually try to live at different places, because even if one of them gets killed, the another one can be saved. So, that's why it's better to live at different places if you are actually fleeing away from somewhere. They left so quickly that some people were certain they must be the ones who had killed the king. So you see now the stories like this, that people can believe anything, suspicions can be anything. So some of the people even believed that probably they were the murderers, they had killed the king to get the throne quickly, because history proves it, that sons have been killing fathers for the throne. That has been like a very common thing in history, to get the throne. And if the father says, okay, I won't give the throne to one of my son, I'll give it to the another one, then the one who's not getting it kills, and just takes over. So that has been a very common thing since the beginning of this kingship. So some people thought that they had actually killed the king. Macbeth was then the nearest relative to Duncan left in Scotland, and so everyone agreed that he should be king. The words of the witches had come true. So finally, witches' words have come true. Macbeth is the next nearest relative. He's definitely the commander in chief. He is the most reliable person for for Duncan, and everybody likes him. Everybody appreciates his courage, his wisdom, and his insight. And so he has all the qualities to be the king. And because he is the next closest relative, so he finally becomes the king of Scotland. So the witch's words have come true finally. And how have they come true? They have not come true by themselves, but actually Macbeth has tried to prove them, to make them true. Okay. Hassan Raza has raised his hand. Can you tell me, Hassan Raza, what is the issue? Okay, any questions so far? Let's answer some questions then. Okay, can I have Abdul Sami? Abdul Sami, can you answer me the first question? What did Macbeth do when he learned about the king's murder? Can you tell me? Abdul Sami, I want an answer from you. He killed them immediately, Vilad. Who did he kill? Abdul Sami, are you there? I want you to be here. If I'm asking you a question, otherwise I'm going to ask you people absent now onwards. If I ask somebody a question and that person fails to answer me, he or she will be marked absent, because that means you are not in the class. Okay, so Abdul Sami is not here. We have Anas Ahmad who's answering me. He killed the guards immediately. Yes. What was the first thing that he did? He killed the guards immediately. Okay. Okay, the second question. Can I have Shiza? Shiza, can you answer me? What did Malcolm and Albion do after their father's murder? Yes, can you tell me? Shiza, are you there? What did Malcolm and Albion do after their father's murder? Hmm? They escaped, exactly. Rumesa, you are right, but Shiza is not here, I believe. Shiza, I didn't get the answer from you, bitte. Okay, thank you, Shiza, for the answer. One of they escaped, one of them went to England. Malcolm went to England and then Albion went to Ireland. Okay, so they both escaped and they went to different places. Okay, with students, now we have to begin our classwork. So want you people to take out your copies. I'm giving you a minute. Prepare yourselves quickly. Hurry up and prepare yourselves. Take out your copies. Write the date and the day and everything. Okay, let's begin the classwork. This is going to be your index. Kindly maintain your index. The serial number can be different. If your copy has a different serial number, kindly put that. I thought it's supposed to be 13, but if you have a different serial number, put your ones. Follow your serial number. Put the date and Macbeth and question number 7 and 8 are we are going to do today. So write down question number 7 and question 8. Okay, thank you everyone for the answers. Okay, so let's begin. Are you all done with the index? Shall I move forward? Okay, Nurul, and if you haven't done question number 1 to 6, then you can definitely start 7 and 8. And when you get the copies back, then you can do 1 and set 1 to 6. It's there in the assignments, definitely. I have already given that. We have already done question number 1 to 6 before the winter break, and now we are doing question number 7 and 8. Okay. Anybody who has missed it, kindly do it from the assignment afterwards. Okay, question number 7. Why was Macbeth afraid of Banquo? Now basically we are reading behind and we are actually doing the questions forward, so you just have to copy the questions. Now I'll explain them once we are doing the reading. Macbeth was afraid of Banquo because Banquo, was accompanying him when he met the witches at the lonely place. Banquo knew about the predictions made by the witches. Macbeth thought that Banquo could suspect him of the murder. Besides, according to the witches' prediction, Banquo's family was going to rule the country. I'm giving you 5 minutes. Hurry up and write the answer. Then we're going to go to question number 8. The slide is here. You can see and copy. Okay. Okay, just tell me one thing. What is more convenient? You guys can just look and write the answer, or you want me to dictate it the way we do it in the class? If whatever is more convenient for you people, tell me that. Saim Samad Khan, your winter vacation homework is unchecked. Why? Have you submitted the copy? Yes, Saim, why is your winter vacation homework unchecked? Beta, did you submit the copy to me? Then how come it is unchecked? I'm surprised. I've checked all the copies and I've returned them yesterday. Have you collected the copy yesterday and it's unchecked? I don't think so. Saim, have you collected the copy yesterday? Saim, unmute yourself and talk to me. That's surprising if your copy is unchecked. You can send it back next time. I'll check it. I don't think any copy should be unchecked. Okay, hurry up. You have 2 more minutes to complete the answer. Good. Those who are done, just give me 2 minutes and give others, in fact, 2 minutes to complete it. Abdul Rahman, accompanying means to be along with somebody, okay? Like company is to be with someone, to give someone company, to be along with someone, okay? That is the meaning of a company. It actually means, to go somewhere with somebody, to be by the side of somebody, okay? Okay, shall I change the slide? I think most of you are done. Shall I change it? Okay. Anybody who's still remaining? Okay, 1 more minute. All of the ones who are doing it, hurry up, please. Good. Thank you. Okay, let's move on. This is question number 8. How did Macbeth act at the feast he gave in honor of the nobleman? Macbeth acted abnormally at the feast he gave in honor of the chief nobleman. He could see Banquo, whom he had got murdered, sitting in his seat. It was just an illusion. Macbeth shouted and told the ghost of Banquo to leave. All the guests were astonished. They thought that Macbeth had gone mad. Okay. So basically, Macbeth gave a feast afterward. He became the king, and he invited all the noblemen, and by that time he had got Banquo murdered because he was definitely suspicious about him that he's going to retaliate and he knows the truth and everything. And he could see him sitting, and it was actually just an illusion because his mind was covered with all these wild thoughts. So he was having these illusions. Macbeth was actually not a bad man. That's why, every time he has done something wrong, he gets illusions where he is actually perceiving something, that something is actually happening, but that is just a false idea or a false belief, a deceptive appearance or impression, basically, where he's having a deception, or just he's just perceiving that this thing is there and it's not actually there. And he shouted and told the ghost of Banquo to leave, and all the guests were astonished. Astonished means surprised. Okay, they were shocked, they were surprised that how is he acting, why is he shouting, and all of that. And they thought that Macbeth had gone mad. Okay, so this is the second question I want you people to do. Hurry up and do it. Okay, students, once you are done, let me know because I need to discuss something with you people also. I spared the last 5 minutes because I want to talk to you about something. I actually saw your winter vacation homework and I was a little concerned about it. So once you're done, let me know. Abdul Rahman, beta, I can't show the previous slide. If you have missed something, I'll definitely upload this lecture the way I always do on the Google Classroom. You can take it from there, okay? Because here I cannot repeat myself again and again, and I cannot go back to the slides. So if anybody misses anything here, leave the space. You have seen the answer. You have the idea how much space it's gonna take. And just go on the second question, and you can always do it afterwards from the Google Classroom. Okay. Okay. The important thing that I want to ask you people is I asked you people to write, first of all, in the winter vacation homework. The first question was in literature to write five lines about the character of Antonio and Claudius. Surprisingly, most of you have just copied the text from the book. You did not even bother to understand what was the question. I'm asking you 5 lines about the character of the person. I have already explained this thing before to you when I asked you, in the revision test to write the character of Portia, that whenever you are writing a character sketch, give the character details of the person. This, if you are telling me that Antonio was a friend of Bassanio, this is not a character trait. This it has nothing to do with the character of Antonio. Yes, if you are telling me that Antonio was a good friend and a loyal friend of Bassanio, then this shows that this word loyal actually tells a character trait of Antonio, that Antonio was very loyal to Bassanio. Okay, but writing that he owed ships, He was a trader, he was a business tycoon. This has nothing to do with his character, okay? This is not a character sketch. Please try to understand this thing. This time I've given you marks on that because definitely you put in an effort. But from next time, and especially if I give such a thing in your exams, I'm telling you again and again, your marks will be deducted because I'm not asking you. You only have to write 5 sentences. That's it. So in those 5 sentences, you can definitely that it's very easy to write 5 adjectives basically about Antonio. That's all you have to do. He was a loyal man. He was a generous man. He was a kind man. And then you can support your answers with the details that he was a loyal friend because he was ready to give his life for Bassanio. He was a kind man because he never charged interest. He was also a generous man because he did not want to kill Shylock, although he could have taken the opportunity. And he was also a very loving and generous and benevolent person because he was upset when everything was getting wrong because of him in the end. And then when Portia said, okay, don't get upset, things are right, no, nothing is getting wrong. So you have to tell the character traits, okay? Please tell the character traits. Don't tell me the things about the person that he is a business tycoon or he is a friend or he is this. No, he's a good friend is a character trait, okay? Similarly, in the second question I asked you about the which character do you like more, Gertrude or Portia? I mean, I think there are only 2 or 3 people who said it like Gertrude. All of you almost like Portia. This is definitely correct. There is nothing wrong about it. You have your own choice, but you need to give me a reason for that. Okay, why do you like her? It can be only one line that I like her because she was a loyal daughter. That's okay, I don't mind, but give me a valid answer. Don't write the character sketch again there. I'm not asking for the character sketch in this. Definitely, you must be liking Portia or Gertrude, whosoever, for some good qualities that they possess. But tell me that quality. Don't tell me the character sketch. Don't tell me 20 things about her. I like her because of this reason. No. Be particular, be precise. Why do you like that person? What is the thing that, charms you about that person? Okay. And the third answer that was horrible for most of the copies for me. I'm very sorry to say this because it was very simple that you had to just describe the situation. I wanted you people to tell me what is going to happen if she discovered the truth, and you people are just copy the texting, the whole text from the book. The ending has to be different if she would have discovered. Okay, so this is all I had to discuss with you people. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Any questions, any queries, you can always ask me in the Google Classroom. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz, everyone. Take care.